Match number 18 of the Tata IPL 2025, Punjab Kings versus the Rajasthan Royals. And for the first time, we head towards Mulanpur, who are going to host the game. It's first home game for the Punjab Kings as well. I have Karthik with me. Karthik, welcome to the show. After a long
Thank you.
time, I must tell you. Before I move on to the past results of these two team franchises, how has been the IPL so far for you? Because you have visited in different stadiums.
Yes, I've been to Kolkata, been to Chennai, Chepauk, as well as been to Vizag. So pretty colorful, pretty noisy too. Also, I've
And which has
actually,
been the best atmosphere according to you so far?
I think I like Vizag. Good audio systems and better seats. Chepauk, not that the seats weren't great, but the problem was that I think, yeah, as a CSK fan, it was actually tragicomic to see CSK lose and CSK
Exactly. I
celebrate.
was about to say you went for the best match possibly. Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the same field.
Yeah, Mahirat. But as a CSK fan, I was disappointed. The For the crowd that I've been part of the '99 Test match in Chennai when Pakistan came to Chennai.
Because what I know is that Chennai are a very knowledgeable crowd. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It is, and I think that kind of crowd comes out. That generation of crowd comes for ODI cricket. Like I remember going to the South Africa Pakistan game. They would start cheering in as soon as Shaheen Afridi was running, and when Quinton de Kock hits a boundary, they cheer for Quinton de Kock too. So optimized only for skill, not really optimized for a player or a team. So that way, that was the crowd that I've used to. And here, I'm just witnessing, people just going gaga and mad. I'm sure they have love towards MS Dhoni. It's not just Chennai, but I think all over India because as a captain, he's been an iconic captain for India. But to Chennai, I think once he comes in at 99 for seven, and then comes in, defends 2-3 balls. And there's one thing that as Chennai fans we know that if Dhoni and Jadeja are there in the middle, they don't start well against spin, and it's a huge and handicap. But I think people are just trying to see the happiness, or just the part where Dhoni is scoring runs. It just
Correct.
looks very tragic comic for me as a fan because I'm not able to
Absolutely.
get it. I'm not able to get it.
Absolutely. And I absolutely understand what you're trying to say out here because that's what I've seen, especially in Chepauk as well. No matter if the team loses by a big margin, as long as Dhoni gives you a couple of sixes, most of the fans are pretty much happy with that. And that I don't like as a cricket fan, to be honest, because at the end of the year, your franchise, your team whom you're supporting, has lost the game, and that's embarrassing to be honest at your own den. But talking about this game, PBKS versus RR, it was a commanding victory once again at the Ekada Stadium for the Punjab Kings. On the other hand, RR defeated Chennai at Guwahati. Thoughts on two different games, both the teams coming from a victory, but now it's a new captain for RR.
Yeah, I think Sanju Samson being back as captain, it's just back to familiarity for RR as a unit.
Correct.
But what I've heard from my friend circles who are cricket analysts, RR is probably one of the only sides that is very innovative and uses software to decide who's going to bat at what point of time, which is probably
Wow.
why they had Ravichandran Ashwin batting at three for a couple of years, if you notice. And even the
Correct.
other day they brought out Hasaranga to basically
Hasananda.
face Varun Chakravarti,
Correct.
despite having someone like Shimron Hetmeyer who was very tame. So RR can sometimes take the advantage of tech and stuff like that. So they're a very unit-driven side basis. So it's
So if
not just a very
they have taken the help, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if they have taken the help of technology so much in terms of batting order, why didn't they take the help of the technology during the IPL auction and retain Josh Butler?
everybody, a lot of RR fans on Twitter are feeling very nostalgic, saying, "I can't believe that Josh Butler is actually going and playing for
Exactly.
someone."
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, they've just gone for this whole Indian core that they've wanted to maintain and paying a very hefty price for unproven T20 performers. I'm sure somebody like
True.
Dhruv Jurel could be the next breakout star. He's started to play Test match cricket for India, already won a Test match in Ranchi for us. But from a T20 standpoint, I'm not quite sure if Dhruv Jurel, though he did score a 70 of 30 balls in the first game
Was also in the losing cause at Hyderabad.
at Hyderabad, the losing cause. But yeah, over Joss Butler, because yesterday Joss Butler was some 15 of 12 balls or 13 balls, run a ball, and
Correct.
then 72 of 36.
That's
Very,
what
very
Josh Butler can do.
can go deep and can bat so aggressively. So yeah, it's a huge mystery as to why someone like Joss Butler was not retained.
Absolutely. That's so shocking, I must tell you, in terms of what Rajasthan Royals have done. Even Yuzvendra Chahal was not retained, and there are many more players we might have so fall short of list as well. Let's take a look into the head-to-head between Punjab Kings and Rajasthan Royals. 3-2 for the Rajasthan Royals in terms of the last five matches these two teams have met each other. Your thoughts on momentum? How is it key? Because Punjab Kings are in red hot form, and if everything is turning out gold for them, especially their captain.
Sure, with Shreyas Iyer, they've looked a very different side, even from the first game where they had like I think they scored 243,
Yeah,
and suddenly and the
97
other
not
day
outs.
97 not out, and the other day, yeah, 97 is quite the flavor of this part of the year
Correct.
because the April 2nd is another 97 that's still got some unrequited love. This is for the first time, in 24 hours, Punjab has been for two consecutive days top of the table. So as Punjab, people are very, very happy that they've been able to get to this red hot form and under
Correct.
Ponti and Shreyas Iyer, they're looking like a world beater side. They have a lot of options. But with RR, I think they'll come in with a lot of confidence. They were able to unlock one of the players who's not really been in great form for Kolkata Knight Riders. I don't know. That was my perception. And you're from Kolkata. Someone like Nitish Rana is he either scores an 80 or scores a duck. And that was his
But last
usual.
season he had that finger injury and did not get much of an opportunity. But I agree to your point that he is a hit and miss player. But yes, the position was not right for him. Even last season, you have Venkatesh Iyer, who used to bat at number three. Now his price tag where he bats, he doesn't himself know according to the situation of the game. But Nitish Rana, I think he suits really well in that number three position, or also at that stage of the fifth over, fourth over, where he comes in and plays with funky shots behind square as well. And if he is given that free role, which I think now Devdutt Padikkal has been given for RCB, he might score runs as well. That's the reason why I think Nitish Rana's position in the team is important. He's getting a good start, which he has to convert it into the big ones, as you rightly mentioned about. He did that in the previous game.
For me, he's got selected one in the IPL. Kolkata has had him for 6 years, and for he's gone past the emotion of okay, I'm not a KKR player anymore. To come
Correct.
to another side, being picked at the auction, and then trying to score runs, I think it's very heartening because you only have your domestic performances to show for, and to go score those runs against high quality Indian bowlers, I think he must have
True.
felt a lot better.
Absolutely, 100%. And with that score, it gives you a lot of confidence. You said about playing for a different franchisee after spending a lot of time at a particular franchisee. How was it feeling when an emotional battle took place when Mohammad Siraj was teaming into Virat Kohli?
Oh yes, okay. There's so many memes going on the internet, and yesterday even in fantasy, I was thinking that sometimes people who leave RCB and then go play for another franchise suddenly they come back, and these are all very random reasons you give in fantasy, saying that Siraj aaj captain banega mera. I think okay, I don't think I put him as captain. I think I put him as vice captain. Okay, three for
Okay.
19 is a lot of points that you get, and I think he bowled very well. It just so
Very,
happened that
very well.
Siraj actually in the 23 season was their best bowler in the power play. But last year, he's playing it all around. I think what's really changed with Ashish Nehra being like a coach, like a bowling head coach of sorts. I know he's the head coach, but as a bowler, I think Ashish
Correct.
Nehra, had a resurgence while playing for Chennai Super Kings in the second half of his career. And I think that's where he's probably advised Siraj on the lengths to bowl. And yesterday, I think RCB just lost because they tried this whole aggressive approach, which I think doesn't work. Sunrisers are slowly
Absolutely
discovering.
doesn't like. I was about to mention that they're going with Sunrise's approach. I must tell you, and you can see yesterday also Sunrises lost at Eden Gardens and how miserably their power play batting has been in back-to-back games. They're losing more than 3 wickets inside the power play. That's never going to help them in terms of scoring big scores. They think of scoring 300 every time they come out to bat, and as mentioned by Travis said, that's not going to happen every game. The teams might have plans, and that's where they're executing them, and you get losing wickets. But you said about Mohammad Siraj bowling at Chinnaswamy, it felt something different when he hit the Sue as well. But talking about the pitch report of Mulanpur, let's take a look into that. First game at this venue, I must tell you, Karthik, and it was introduced last season around 2-3 in terms of batting second. But it's an evening game. What's your thought on that? Win the toss and chase?
See, that's what people generally prefer. And again, there's no real one-sided difference to say that if you this is a ground where you bat first. I think from
Mm-hmm.
what I've seen in Mulanpur last year, the first 6 overs is like a 45 for two. Then there's a next
Correct.
middle overs is like a 70 for three. And then the last 5 overs are like 53 for four. So that's like your
Mm-hmm.
average scores. And I
Mm-hmm.
think depending on the kind of surface that is there, scores are between 150 and 170. So on these kind of wickets, I'm just curious to understand what kind of approaches will they do, because if there's a Sunrisers approach saying I'll just go bang bang,
Correct.
which not too long ago was the era of Bhanuka Rajapaksa for Punjab, right? That was exactly
Yeah.
Punjab's approach. I kind of discovered that approach when Jitesh Sharma played a knock against CSK in 2022. So I'm just curious
Mm-hmm.
how Punjab will go because they played very well, scored at 240. Shreyas Iyer, has a very aggressive game. So I'm curious to understand on a 170 kind of wicket, will Punjab say, okay, let's see how the first 5 overs go? Should we basically assess it and then decide on a 180 and then say our bowling is strong enough? So the
Yeah.
bowling has been very well. But RR, again, to me, RR looked the kind of side which is able to keep its head under pressure. The other day they came back. the decision to bowl Sandeep Sharma was an amazing one because Sandeep Sharma did
True.
the same against MS, 20 runs required at Chepauk.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's great that they just they didn't want pace on the ball to someone like MS. But my other, not fear, but I thought because Sandeep Sharma is bowling these 130, 120 kind of pace, that's exactly the kind of bowling that MS Dhoni feasts into. So I was curious if he would, go ahead and hit, but unfortunately got out caught. But I think both bowling units are good. Hasaranga comes off.
True.
Every over, he was just going and taking a wicket against Chennai Super Kings.
And it
So
surprised me so much against CSK that there are players who play spin so well, starting with Vijay Shankar, who plays spin so well, and he has brown and butter playing spin and does not pick up a googly. And I was so surprised that the ball sneaked through the gate and he was knocked over. It looks so surprising to me.
I think India, by and large, in the last few years, are entering an era where their batters are not very adept against spin, simply because of the kind of surfaces and tracks that are dished out in Ranji Trophy. Now the
Correct.
focus is shifted to seamers or pace bowlers taking in wickets. Yes, there are these wickets, odd wickets, like for example, last year's Ranji semi-finals or finals that was played at the BKC ground, while Tamil Nadu and Mumbai played, and the spinners of both the sides did very well. Sai Kishore or
Correct.
even with Mumbai, I think I forget the name of their slow left arm orthodox bowler. He
Is it
also,
Shams Mulani?
Shams Mulani. So he also picked up a few wickets. So that way, I think the whole spin game has deteriorated. And the other thing is, in games like these where you are under high pressure to score, right? See, if it was a slightly longer format, Vijay Shankar would not have played that shot, and he was
True.
playing very
True.
far away from the body, trying to,
Absolutely away from the body. Yeah.
so in a longer format, maybe that's why somebody like Rashid Khan is not successful in ODI cricket because people have the time to pick him and then go on the back foot and play. But when you're under pressure to score 12 and over and you're coming in, I think yeah, that's probably where people struggle against slow left arm orthodox bowlers and your mystery bowlers. So yeah, I think the general quality against spin isn't great, and because maybe Guwahati did not have dew, because if dew was there, however good a spinner you are, someone like Varun Chakravarti gets hit when there's dew.
True.
So I think
True.
that
True.
very clearly wasn't there. So again, Mulanpur, the point that you were saying is if there's due on offer, and I've seen some of the games last year, 5 games or so they played
Yeah. Yeah.
last year, and it looked like even the side batting second would huff and puff and still win, like a 170
Absolutely.
for six or a 170 for seven, they would chase like that, and then they would go and win.
We cannot
So that,
forget that shot from Ashutosh Sharma to Jasprit Bumrah over fine leg, I must tell you, at this
oh my
very
god,
venue.
yeah,
So yes, chasing sides are always benefited at this venue. So you're seeing bat second because Dew might come into the equation. It's time for the strategic timeout now, Karthik. 4 questions, 60 seconds. Over to you. Your time starts now. Which batter do you think will get back in form, Glenn Maxwell or Yashasvi Jaiswal?
I'm going to go for Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Okay. Average first innings total according to you. Whoever bats first.
I'll go for 175,
175 to 190.
175 to 185.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chahal or Hasaranga? Which leg spinner do you think will pick more wickets?
I think I'll go with Chahal. Hasaranga, law of averages that way.
Okay, fair enough. How many sixes do you expect tomorrow? I'm giving you a difference of five.
I think they hit about 9 or 10 sixes in the game against CSK in Guwahati for a 180 kind of a total. So if it's 170, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with 8 sixes.
8 sixes, okay, fair enough. That's all we have for you in terms of the strategic timeout. Let's take a look at the players to watch out for. Three players from each. Shreyas Iyer, Shashank Singh and Yadavindra Chahal are for my Punjab Kings players. Sanju Samson, Dhruv Jurel and Jofra Archer for the Rajasthan Royals. Any changes according to you?
Well, I'd like to see Prabh Simran Singh. He played very well the other day. And also, like the way this guy Priyansh Arya is shaping up.
True,
Even
true,
the first match is surprising 47 out of
true.
20 odd deliveries. And of course, Shreyas Iyer, who's now reborn literally. And I love the confidence and the selfless tag really applied as a captain. So these are the three that I would look forward
Okay.
to. Not too many bowlers on my list, but yeah, all young Turks. And Prabh Simran is somebody who's done well. He's got a 100 IPL 100, but
Yeah.
unfortunately hasn't been very consistent. So I'm just curious to see if he's going to be part of the new generation of PBKS cricketers. If
Okay.
they win an IPL, that could be an India spot for someone like them. So I think,
Virendra Sehwag kind of an approach I see in Prabh Simran probably.
well, he's basically aggressive, and he's as a right-hander, I see that he's also able to go play the longer innings,
True, true.
which is also something like a Josh Butler kind of an attribute: play long, play deep. But yeah, with a lot of India's also moved to this power hitting 260 kind of totals in T20 cricket. But the day they encounter a 170, 180 wicket, do you have quality batters? Yeah, Prab Simran is somebody who can add to that list. Already a very crowded list there, but yeah, those are my three. For Rajasthan Royals, I'm just curious to understand. I want Shimron Hetmeyer to fire.
But he's not been given enough deliveries by his franchisee, and it's very surprising. He's coming after the 15th over, just like Stephen Fleming explained about Mahendra Singh Dhoni's problems as well. That's something very surprising. You think Shimron Hetmar is one of your player you want to watch eagerly as for the Rajasthan Royals.
Again, interested in Nitish Rana. I see that again. He's like a reborn cricketer, and I'm in this
True.
phase where I'm trying to see, okay, how can somebody find that motivation, or the spark is there, but where are they coming through? And yeah, I'm also curious to understand. Tushar Deshpande did well under CSK, but yeah, he was carted the other day by Jadeja and Dhoni.
Correct.
I want to see him get back his confidence while bowling at the death. So these are my three people.
He's starting ahead of Akash Madwal, so he needs to take full use of his spot in the 11 as well. Let's take a look at the top three battles I've gone with. Vanindu Hasaranga versus Shreyas Iyer is my battle number one. I've gone with Arshdeep Singh with the new ball against Yashasvi Jaiswal and Yuzvendra Chahal against Riyan Parag is my battle number three. Which one are you definitely watching out of these three?
I'm curious about the second one because that's exactly how Jaiswal got out, where Khalil pulled the ball swinging
Correct.
in. First one, he timed it for a cover drive for four.
Correct.
I did the second one, but I think the ball was bowled slightly slower. It swung, and then it just went for a catch. He's off form, not really got up to a great start, and he's had problems running with the Mumbai Ranji Association. Now moving out,
That
a
was
lot
some
playing in his mind.
massive breaking news. Yeah.
Lot playing in his mind. So I'm just trying to understand if his resilience is he back in a fight or flight mode. As a result, I'm hoping that Ashdeep may not win the battle. Jaiswal may win the battle because I remember Jaiswal hitting 4 fours in an over of Mitchell Stark in I think it was the SCG or the MCG Test match second
I
innings.
think MCG, yeah.
Because I was at the side view for that particular match, and I remember him scoring those boundaries. So
Correct.
yeah, looking forward to see them dominate a left armor.
Absolutely. He has done, Yashasvi Jaiswal has done so much already for the country in terms of international cricket as well. We sometimes forget that he's still young enough, but he's going through so much, to be honest. Let's take a look at the predicted playing 11, starting with the home side, Punjab Kings. Why change something that is not broken is what my mantra is for the Punjab Kings. But interestingly, they played Lockie Ferguson in the previous game. I think clearly a matchup against Nicholas Puran. But I go back to Azmatullah Omarzai. That gives you a lot of balance in this side.
It does, but I think Omarzai has also not been scoring runs. I think he's slightly a long format player where
Okay.
he's scoring 16 of 17 or 16 of 18. He's even though he's coming in at 4-5, it looks a little awry that he's not really getting runs at a very fast clip. So from a T20 standpoint, I'm sure he gives you the bowling as well as the batting option. Works well for Afghanistan in the longer format or on slower wickets, but I'm not
Correct.
quite sure on a 180 kind of a pitch. Is he going to be increasing the scoring?
So you think you're sticking to Lockie Ferguson and the same 11 for the Punjab Kings, which they played in the previous game?
Yeah, I think it adds more firepower to them because you're having somebody bowling at 140 clicks and he's able to
Correct.
get bounced. And Shreyas Iyer will now like to dish out whatever was dished out to him for so many years, having that cover weapon.
Now definitely he's playing the short ball pretty well, I must tell you. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11 of Rajasthan Royals. Sanju Samson is back as the captain for the Rajasthan Royals now. This team also needs a little bit of depth in their batting, especially their middle order. Your thoughts on that? Shubham Dubey continues to be that player in the middle order or probably as an impact sub. Unchanged 11 for this side as well?
Unchanged because I'll want to give them some level of confidence, but they've had a bad collapse against Chennai while they were
Correct.
doing well. I think they survived because Chennai was far more incompetent for they're in that
Yeah.
space right now. CSK, as much as it's a champion side, I think CSK did not play very well in their batting, which is
Mhm.
why RR got off the hook. But if it was against a slightly more competitive side, with the position that they were in after Nitish Rana gave them, RR basically just bombed.
True.
So I'm
True.
just hoping their middle order comes good here.
Correct, absolutely. That's what I said before as well. Middle order needs to be there for the Rajasthan Royals if they have to post total, if they're asked to bat first as well. Let's take a look into the predictions time now, putting Karthik into the hot seat. First game at Mulanpur, it's Punjab Kings versus Rajasthan Royals. Evening game. Karthik, your predictions for this game, please.
RR bats first, scores 172 for 7, and then Punjab bats and scores 175 for 3, and then they win it very easily. But this time, RR's middle order scores, their top order doesn't. That's my fantasy combination. I've already predicted
Okay.
that. Fine now.
Okay, so you're saying 100% Punjab Kings?
Yes, I'm going to go with Punjab Kings. And
Wow.
Punjab fans are going to say that, wow, we were number one for this whole week. So, yeah.
Okay, but interestingly, this is the first time it has happened. He's given a fantasy prediction as well. Thanks a lot, Karthik. He says Punjab Kings are definitely winning this game, making it 3 wins on the trot and staying at the top of the tree. Thanks a lot, Karthik. Thank you to all the viewers watching this video. Super Saturday, 2 games on the card. Sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much.